أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah accept this time and the effort from us as a good deed and put these good deeds in the scale of judgment day, inshallah ta'ala. So we have done 4 fragments so far in our journey to learning Arabic of the Quran, and yesterday we did a quick review and few exercise of the last fragment, Mawsuf Sifa. So today we'll do the last fragment for the basic level of Arabic. So 5 fragments we are supposed to learn. So today will be the last fragment, inshallah ta'ala. And then, inshallah, once we're going to go to the advanced level, there are other types of fragments. So the same fragments, they can combine some other things. But for this level, alhamdulillah, I think that will be the last fragment today, inshallah ta'ala. So before we start, just a quick review. We know this thing, and these things, as we can see, that every day in every lesson we are implementing these things. Like today also, if you look at the type part, the proper and common, in the proper and common, there is something called number 4 is called pointers. So pointers are always proper because today's fragment is called pointers. Okay, so we will learn about pointers today. So just remember, just look at the chart here quickly. So go to the proper section, see the proper name. Al makes something proper. Pronouns are always proper. Okay, and pronouns are proper. Remember one thing: it is the independent pronoun also. Even the attached pronoun also are proper. Pronouns mean proper. Okay. So then the pointers that we're going to talk about, Ism Mausul are the ones that, what are the Ism Mausul, who remember? Brother Jahid, Ism Mausul. Yes, Allazi, good. Allazi, Allazi, Allazani, Allazi. Okay, so Allazina. So Allazi is one, Allazani and Alladina. Okay, just like Muslimun, like this one. Okay, then we have the one being called, like Ya Allah, Ya Rab, all these things, okay, are proper. If the word after the of, this is mudaf mudaf ilayh. If the word after the of is proper, then the word before the word is proper. Okay. So if I say house of Abdullah, house by itself is not proper because it could be any house. But when it's a house of Abdullah, and Abdullah is a proper because it's a proper name, the first category. So the whole thing of the mudaf, the mudaf also become proper. So that house is a specific house that is Abdullah. So these are the point types that we have learned, and also we will implement status, number, gender also, inshallah, to these lessons. But as I say, the pointers is one of the things. So one of the status of the pointer are proper. And remember again, don't lose track because we are learning about ism. So all these fragments are combination of ism, and there are harf also in between. Okay, so pointers are also kind of isms. Okay, and those ism, the types is always proper. The type is always proper. Then we quickly review the fragments, the 4 fragments. We have done this yesterday. Mudaf, first one is mudaf ilay. The rule is no alif lam light, and it has to be jar. Harf of jar, it's jar majroor is called ba ta kaf lam wa min fi an ala hatta ila. They makes the word right after it jar. So these 2 fragments is work when the 2 ism is side by side and harf is making one ism. So right side by side. Okay, there's nothing in between them, these 2 fragments. Okay, these next 2 fragments could be next to each other, could be something in between them, which is harf of nasab. Okay, and these are inna, anna, ka'anna, laita, lakinna, la'alla, and also the mawsuf and sifa that defines another, like adjective, like the red pen, or okay, the beautiful house. All these things that we learn, mawsuf, sifa, we have there could be something in between them, but the 4 properties must match with the mawsuf and the sifa. So both of the 4 properties must match, inshallah ta'ala. So let's start today's new lesson, as I say, pointing fragments. So the first thing to know about the pointing fragment, we know they study last type of fragments, and this is called, in Arabic it's called Ismul Ishara. Ishara is a very common word. We all know what Ishara means. Even people in Urdu, Bangla, we know Ishara means what, right? So meaning like he's doing some Ishara, giving some sign. Ismul Ishara wa musharatun ilay. So there's Ismul Ishara means the pointer itself, and musharatul ilay, the one thing that's been pointed. Okay, there are 4 pointing words in English. Okay, the 4 pointing: these, that, and those. Everybody clear on that, right? Is there any other pointing other than this? No. These is singular, these, like these things, okay, plural, that, and those. So these are the 4 English pointing points. Okay, there's nothing after the. This is the common one that we use, right, all the time. So in Arabic also we have this, but there is obviously dual, because we learned this before, right? So the singular, dual, and pair. So haza means this, hazihi is this feminine, okay? Now hazihi is a bit tricky, because hazi, if I say, there is my, she is my daughter, okay, or this is my daughter, okay? So I use hazihi because the daughter, feminine, okay? But if I say these are beautiful pens, then also I have to use hazihi, although the pens is plural. But why? Because plural is broken plural. Okay, pen is a broken plural. Okay, non-human broken plural is considered grammatically is she. So that's why we have to use hazihi. Okay, so this is the tricky part. You must remember that. Okay, human feminine plural, broken plural, human broken plural, and non-human broken plural both can be used as she. For human broken plural, sometimes we can use they. It's allowed. It's not a mistake. Okay, but in the Quran, Allah sometimes use human broken plural, okay, like Nabis, Ambiya, okay. So Allah used them as even Rasul become Rasul. We'll see some example. Allah said the broken plural is pointing as a feminine, because grammatically the number is plural. I mean the real life the number is plural, but grammatically we have to point them with the singular feminine version. Singular feminine version of the thing we have to do it, okay? So haza, hazi. So this is the trick about hazihi. Not difficult, just to remember, okay? Dual is hazani and hatani. Hazani, like Muslimani, see the alif and nun, the same chart, remember? Muslimani or Muslimatani, so that's hatani. So hazani, hatani. So these are the dual version, like both of these, masculine and feminine. Only difference is a ta and a zal. Okay, zal and ta, nothing else, okay? Haulai, haulai, same for masculine, same for feminine. Haulai, haulai, okay? So these are the pointers that is close, like these and this and this. Something that is pointing to close. Like this is a microphone, okay? But if I say that is a chair, that's far away from me. So everybody understand that. I said these and that, the different. So this chart is for these and these. These and these and both of these. We can say that way, like because there's a dual there, okay? So haza, hazihi, haza, hazani, hatani, haulai, haulai. Okay, you must memorize this. Okay, you must memorize this very simple chart. Haza means singular, hazihi means singular feminine, hazani is singular dual this, so not singular dual this, and hatani is dual feminine this, and haulai means these masculine, haulai means these feminine. Both are the same. Okay, everybody clear? No question? Okay. Next chart, there's another chart we have to have about that and those. So this chart is for these and these. Now next chart is that and those. So that's the chart. Dhalika, very common word in Arabic, right? Allah subhanahu start the Surah Baqarah with this. Dhalika, then tilka. Same tilka is the same thing. Tilka means that. But just like feminine, as I said, if it is broken plural, okay, then human broken or non-human broken plural, we have to use tilka, okay? That's why Allah said, tilka rasulu faddalna ba'dahum ala ba'd. This is Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 253. So where Allah says, tilka rasul. Tilka is feminine. I say tilka is feminine. But rasuls are not feminine. In real life, there is no rasul is feminine. But because it's a plural number, and it's a human broken plural, okay? It's not rasulina or rasuluna. So Rasul, one Rasul, Rusul become Rasul, okay? So that's why, it's a broken plural, and when it's a broken plural, we consider as singular feminine. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is those messengers, tilka Rasul, okay? Okay, so that's why Allah used this one. So Zalika and Tilka. Then in dual, Dhanika and Tanika. Dhanika and Tanika. I don't know is there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses in the Quran or not. Not for mine. I think Allah never used this in the Quran, but maybe, I'm not sure 100%, but 90% these two words hasn't been used even. But it could be, I'm not sure, okay? So, but anyway, we have to learn it. Dhanika and Tanika. Simple is that. So Dhanika means both of those male, Tanika means both of those female, okay, the feminine thing. And Ulaika and Ulaika for both masculine. Ulaika is so common, right? Ulaika humul muflihun, Ulaika humul kafirun, Ulaika humul this, Ulaika. So many times we have Ulaika, Ulaika. So Ulaika means those. It could be for masculine, it could be for feminine, okay? And when you put them in the fragments, we see why it is feminine, why it is not feminine. We know what are the properties for feminine, how to find the feminine words. So we will do this one. So these are the two charts we have to memorize, okay? One for the close one, these and these, one for the far one, that and those, okay? Very simple, only few words to learn, okay? Another simple things after this, the three columns, right? Singular, dual and plural. Singular, dual and plural. The singular and plural, so the first and the third column, their properties are always fixed. Meaning, properties mean the status is always fixed. They are always rafa. There's always rafa and they are proper, okay? So, they are, sorry, my mistake. So, the third column and the first column, they are always non-flexible. Meaning, their rafa, nasab and jar is the same. The rafa, nasab and jar is always same, okay? Zalika is always zalika. Doesn't matter is it a rafa, is it a nasab or a jar. There is no zaluka, zaliki, not like this, okay? And tilka is also like, ulaika is always ulaika. Doesn't matter whether it is a rafa status, is it doing something in the word, is it a nasab status, or is it a jar status, okay? So it means if I put inna before ulaika, for example, just make a word, inna is what? A harf of nasab. So it should make it nasab. It's not going to make ulaika ka or something like that. No, ulaika is always ulaika. If I put la ulaika, like la suppose, for, or a li ulaika, for, like it's a harf of jar, it will also be ulaika. So nasab, rafa, nasab and jar is always the same, okay? Now in ulaika, you have to be a bit careful because this is the how it is spelled. This ka, don't confuse this ka with the ka, anta, antum, okay? Don't confuse this one, okay? This is the spelling of the word ulaika. It doesn't mean you, because ka usually means your, right? Kitabuka, baituka means your car, your house, okay? So you don't mix with that one. So ulaika is the spelling like this, okay? So it doesn't mean there's nothing to do with attached pronoun, okay? So be clear on that one. So what I was saying, the singular and the plural pointing words are always non-flexible. Non-flexible means they are no changing status. So they look like the same whether they are rafa, nasab or jar. So pointing words like hazihi, haza, and this is for both charts, okay? Hazihi, haza, haulai, zalika, tilka, ulaika will always look the same whether in rafa, nasab or jar status. Everybody clear on that? Easy to remember, right? So always non-flexible, always non-flexible. Like al-lazina also always non-flexible. Al-lazina is also non-flexible, like ism mawsul. Now, the thing that the dual one change, but the easy thing is that dual one has not too many implications, okay? So, but still it will come. Some of them, especially these one will come, okay? So the dual one changes like normal charts, like Muslimun chart, okay? So the dual one is like rafa is hazani, that we just learned, okay? Hazaini, hazaini, like Muslimaini, muslimaini, okay? And hatani, hataini, hataini. So these are not flexible, okay? These are fully flexible. So they change it with rafa, nasab and jar. Only the middle part, the dual one, okay? Zanika is zainika, okay? Or zainika. Tilka is tainika and tainika. Okay, understand? So I don't want to confuse too much, but just remember singular and plural, the first and the third column, non-flexible, do not change at all. Only the dual one changes, and changes like the Muslimun chart, okay? Like Muslimaini, muslimaini, hazani, hazaini, hazaini, okay? So you just have to memorize these things and remember these things, okay? So hazani, hazani, okay? So these are the things that we know about this. Okay, any questions so far? Yes.
So like Muslimani chart.
Yes.
So this nasab and jar pattern would be same.
Same.
So they don't differ.
They don't differ. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Muslimani chart is legal because Muslimani chart dual and plural column doesn't change.
Yes.
Yeah. Singular column change. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin is changed 3 times. But dual and so the just focus on the dual column of Musliman chart is just like this. So only the rafa changes, which is hazani, okay, with an alif and the noon with a kasra. Then hazaini, hazaini. Zanika is zainika, zainika. Okay. Okay. So this is so far no confusion. The next thing about pointing fragments to remember, and this is interesting. Okay. Any question? Anybody? No. Brother Manduri, okay? All good. Brother Shabir, okay? So we will look at the 4 properties of pointing words. So the same thing that I just put it in the thing so that when you get this email, you will remember. Singular and plural pointing words are non-flexible and thus will always look the same regardless of status. Dual pointing words are fully flexible and thus will change depending on the status. Number and gender, obviously number and gender you know because from the chart. The chart already has, because when I say, haza means this, what is the number? Singular, right? That's why we're calling it this, right? This never means dual, okay? And also we know haza is masculine this. So you already know the gender and the number. If you know the chart, you know the number and the gender, okay? Type, all pointing words are always proper. Remember, when using the pointing word, you are referring to a specific thing, making these things proper and not common. So pointing words, all these are always proper. So we know the 4 status of these pointing words. Understand everybody? All good? Alhamdulillah. Okay, the next thing. Consider the following. So something called, if I say this pen, okay, and if I say this is a pen, what is the difference between these two sentences?
First one, you are pointing towards something.
Yes.
And second one, you're defining a property. What is it?
No.
One is a sentence and one is incomplete sentence.
Yes, good. That's the your one is right, but one is sentence. When I say this pen, it doesn't make any sense. Unless if you're standing, if you're asking me something, brother, which pen should I take? I said this pen, okay. But still, it's like a verbal thing. I should say, brother, take this pen, okay. Then it's make a sentence. So usually this pen is like a fragment. It's not a full complete sentence. But when you say this is a pen, it's a full sentence, okay. So that is the difference, okay, main difference, okay. And also, if you look at this in Arabic, there is no is. As I said, these are visible things in invisible things. In Arabic doesn't have are. Like in English, we have we are going there, he is coming, okay, I am eating. There's no am, is, are in Arabic. There's no words for that in Arabic. Also of, like when you say mudaf, mudafir, there's no of. In English, we have to say that the house of Allah, but there's no of in Arabic. So this thing is missing. So that's why when you say hazal kalamu, this one, hazal kalamu, that means this pen. But when you say haza kalamun, this is a pen. Okay? Now the thing to remember that whenever you see a al after the pointing word, any pointing word, okay, it could be haza, it could be hazihi, it could be ulaika, it could be dhanika, anything, okay? Right after it, not anything, just right after the pointing word, you find the al, that is a fragment. That is not a sentence, okay? Why we're learning this? Because we'll implement this later on, okay? To translate things, okay? Because otherwise you won't understand, okay? And we'll see some examples from the Quran, some today and some inshallah next week. So we'll know that what is the implication. So whenever you see al after a pointing word, it is a fragment. It is like this pen. There's no is and a in between them, okay? When there is no alif lam, okay, then make it a sentence, okay? It should be this is a pen, okay? This is a pen. Now you may ask, okay, when it's gonna be this will be a pen or this was a pen, okay? How you gonna tense? We'll learn about it later, inshallah. Okay, when you learn about field, the tense, okay? Inshallah, that time we'll learn. But for the time being, if there is a al, this is not a sentence, it is a fragment like this pen. There's no is, there's nothing invisible in that, okay? If there is a al. If there is no al, then it is a sentence, like this is a pen. Understand? Okay. Now, alif lam mim, the, yes.
So what's the meaning will be, this is the pen, the same hazal kalam, this is the pen.
This is the pen, yes, you can say, this is the pen is hazal kalamu.
That one also complete sentence.
No, actually, hazal kalamu is not, actually, that will be, if you say this is the pen, that will be another thing here. There's another fragment will be attached to it, okay? Not, we'll learn it later. But this one, hazal kalamu, that depends on the status also. We'll come to that later on, okay? So this is the pen, we putting the is in between. But when there is a al, you don't bring any is. That's the main thing. If there is no bring, okay? Haza kalamu is this is a pen, okay? If you say haza and then kalamu and there's something else to make it proper, like if there's a mudaf, mudafir, then you use the di, okay? Meaning that become a proper, okay? You can say haza, Baitu Abdullah or something, so this is the Abdullah's house, okay? So then it make it proper, okay? So for the time being, just if it's a al, no is in between. You just translate it simple as a fragment, okay? Like that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, alif lam mim, dhalikal kitabu. Dhalikal kitabu. Is there al after dhalika? Yes, dhalikal kitabu, right? Dhalika al kitabu. So Allah, so it's been this book. It's not this is a book. Okay. Okay. Just like the law anzalna after that hazal Qur'ana. Okay. So if Allah reveal law anzalna means if Allah reveal anzal hazal Qur'an. Okay. So that means that there is no is. Okay. But the example that I give before, like tilkar rasulu, is there any al? Yeah, there is al also. Tilkar rasulu. So that also those rasuls. Okay, there's no say. We'll see some example without this one. Like ulaika kafirun. So those are kafirun. You can say ulaika kafirun. Okay, or you can say ulaika humul muflihun. Ulaika humul muflihun. That's the same in the fifth ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, and so many times Allah says in different places. Ulaika humul muflihun. So ulaika means what? Those. Hum means them. Muflihun means successful. Now after ulaika, did you say any al before whom? No. So what will be the translation of that? Those are successful. Those are muttaqin. Those are ulaika humul muttaqin. All these things. So there is no alif lam. So let's look at maybe 3 or 4. Yes.
Once to go one step forward.
Yeah.
So if you were to say this is a pen of Ronnie, how would you say that?
This is a pen of Ronnie. You should say Hazal Qalamu Ronnie.
Yeah. It will be Hazal or it will be Haza. If this is Hazal, Haza Kalam.
No, it is.
It's actually this the pen of Ronnie, isn't it? When you think
Yes.
about it? So
We will see an example like this. So it will be actually Haza Qalamu, because Ronnie's pen will be mudaf ilay.
Yes.
So it should be light, no alif lam. So there will be no alif lam. So after Haza there will be no alif lam. Because if it's alif lam, it cannot be mudaf ilay. So if you translate Ronnie's pen, okay, Qalamu Ronnie, okay, or whatever you call in Ronnie in Arabic, okay, because Qalamu has to be light, okay, and it has no alif lam, okay, and Ronnie has to be jar, okay. So Qalamu Ronnie, and Ronnie cannot be jar because Ronnie is a non-Arab name. Non-Arab name are partly flexible, okay. It cannot take kasra. So Ronnie is Ronnie. So Qalamu Ronnie, so it will be Haza Qalamu Ronnie. There's no Hazal. You're right. There will be no al, because if there's al, it cannot be mudaf ilay. Because mudaf ilay, the first thing cannot have al, and it has to be light. Okay. Does Zaidi have a question?
No, that's fine. It was
Looks
asked.
like Hadal Kalamu, looks like it's a more definite. And then the next one looks a bit common type.
Yeah, this is a pen. It could be, but when you say, but look, both of them has haza.
Yeah.
Whenever you have you're pointing something, it is proper. Even this is a pen. Also, it's not any pen. This is the pen I'm talking about. This is a pen.
But
Okay.
the top one looks like more definite.
Yeah, because there's no is between, so it looks like more definite. But the main thing that one is fragment, because this is to learn how we can translate the things. Okay, looking at the pointing things. Okay, so we'll do 1 or 2 examples. We'll see a few examples like we just translate, and then next week, inshallah, we'll have some more examples. So, let's start with the first one. We already did this. Zalikal kitabu. This second one. Let's look at the second one. Tilka bintun. What will be the translation, Brother Tanvir? Do you know that bintun means girls, daughters? Okay. So tilka bintun. Look at this. Is there any alif lam before bintun? No. So it is a sentence then. So and tilka means those. So those are girls. Those are girls. Okay. Next one. Hazihi buyutun. Hazihi buyutun.
These are houses.
Hazihi means these. These are houses. These are houses. Okay? And why is hazihi? Houses. Yes, because of buyut. Brother Manzur and Mustafa, do you understand? Houses is plural. House is plural. But still we are using the singular version hazihi. Why?
Because of
Because
family.
broken plural. Bait and buyut is broken plural. Yes. Okay? Broken plural is considered as singular family. Okay? So one house is bait, lot of houses is buyut. So bait becomes buyut. Like house, mouse become mice, right? So it's a broken plural. Broken plural, we have to use the singular. We have to think this is a singular feminine. Okay, that's what it has here. Next one, ulaikal mu'minuna. Same thing, right? Brother Shia, so what will be the translation? Ulaikal mu'minuna.
those
Mhm.
those mu'min.
Those believers, yeah, those believers, okay? Not those are believers. There's no R in
There
it,
is
okay?
R,
Okay. Now, haulai humul mudarrisuna. Mudarrisuna means teachers. Haulai humul mudarrisuna.
Those are the teachers.
This.
What is humul mudarrisuna?
So those they are teachers. Those they are teachers.
Those they are teachers. Yes. Those they are teachers. Those and we didn't have any alif lam, so those they are teachers. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, so hada, haulai mudarrisuna. Okay, so I think I have only 5 examples for today, inshallah ta'ala, because there's too many information, so I don't want to overload everyone. So I will email this to you and also the exercise that we did yesterday, and then inshallah ta'ala we'll go from here. Okay.
So there is no rule for the status after that pointers, right? For example, like harf of jar.
Mm-hmm.
The last following
No.
word should be jar. Harf of nasab.
Yes.
following word should
No,
be
no,
nasab.
not rule like this.
But there is no rule here.
No, no like this. Yeah. Like if I say tilka ayatul kitab, like hamim, tilka ayatul kitab, tilka ayatul mubin. So what will be that? Tilka ayatul kitab. So tilka ayatul kitab is mudaf ilay, the ayah of the book. Okay, and tilka ayatul kitab, what is the translation? There is no alif lam, so remember that. So it will be those signs of the book, those ayahs of the book, not those are ayahs of the book. Okay, so Allah is this fragment. So there's something else Allah is going to say. Tilka ayatul mubin, then Allah will say something about it. It's not finished yet. Okay, so this is like this. Okay, and this is a lot of time you find this in the surah. There are 6, 7 surahs start with hamim. Okay, starting from Surah Al-Ghafir. Okay, and most of them are like this. Okay, tilka ayatul mubin. Okay, and all this kind of things are there. What exactly is?
So if I want to translate, this is the book. What will be this? It will be the same. Zalika.
This is the book will be this for if it says this is haza.
Sorry.
Okay, so if we say hazal kitab, that will be this book. Okay, and this is the book. It's I think the same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same thing because the
Yeah,
it's the way that you translate it. Okay,
If I want-
because in English, if you say this is the book, this is also a fragment. It hasn't complete the sentence. You can think it's a sentence, but no, this is the book what? I mean, you have to say something after that. Okay, it's not there's nothing in there. Okay. But I will look into that. I think there is something that we'll have learned in the next phase that it will talk about this. Okay, that how to make this fragment like this is the book. So this is also here and thou also here. Okay, so I think for the time being we'll stick there, and I'll bring some more examples from the Quran, and then because we have 5 fragments are done, but there's 2 more things about Ism, 2 or 3 things we're gonna learn. Then we'll have a comprehensive test on our 5 fragments. Exercise and everything. So your job is to learn these charts, because if you forget these charts, then there's no point. Okay, and this chart is actually giving you increasing your vocabulary also. Because now you know what is zalika. Why Allah is zalika? Why not tilka? Okay, and actually Allah subhanahu wa taala, whenever Allah subhanahu wa taala talked about kitab, because kitab is whenever Allah mentioned kitab, most of the time it means the Quran, the book Quran. Like zalikal kitab, this is that book. Okay, but whenever Allah say kitab, Allah use the far pointer, either zalika. Even the ayat, Allah say tilka. But in our mind, okay, this is Quran, Allah should say hazal Quran. Okay, so whenever Allah use the word Quran, Allah say haza. Whenever Allah say kitab, Allah say zalika. Why is that? Because when Allah say kitab, it means the complete book. Okay, and complete book is far away from us. It's in Lawh and Mahfuz. That's what the scholars say. That's why Allah always use zalika tilka whenever you see the word kitab. But like the Surah Al-Hashr, Law anzalna hazal Qur'ana. Last night we recited Surah Al-Isra, Surah Al-Bani Isra, where Allah said in ayah number 9, I think, He said, inna hazal Qur'ana yahdi lillati, hiya yubashshirul mu'minina allazina ya'maluna as-salihati. So over there, whenever Allah use Quran, Allah said this Quran. Because why? Quran is a recitation. Quran means it. And when the Quran was coming to Prophet ﷺ, it is that Quran, that part of the Quran is coming. Okay. So whenever we say Quran is a qir'ah, it's not the whole thing. So that is why it is close to us. We listen to the Quran, it is close to us. But whenever Allah in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks book, it's always the far away. Allah always is Zalik al-Kitab. Although if you open the translation, this is Alif Lam Mim, it says this book has no doubt. Okay, it never said that. But actually Zalika means that. Okay. But the English translation to make us understand. So that's why the translation is not the true meaning of Quran. And that's why you need to know this Arabic grammar to understand the full meaning of the Quran. A lot of time it lost in translation, it's just not the right thing. And if you read Bangla translation and English translation, it is not the right meaning, And I show you so example, before also that, so many times Allah used the same pattern of ayah, just one word change. English translation will be the same, but it's not like this. There's a big difference. Why? For us, Allah repeating the same thing. I think someone yesterday told me that Allah repeats a lot of things in the Quran and everything, but actually it's not. Allah repeats for a reason. And if you look at the ayah properly, the context of the ayah, and now you know this mean, fee, sometimes fee comes, sometimes mean comes. One little change, it changed the whole context. Okay. There's a lot of examples like this. So I'll bring some more examples once we get there, and you will find this one. One change, one little change, whole meaning is changed. Whole meaning is changed. Like one example I just remember now. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he built the Kaaba, he said he make a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazal Amina. So Allah he asked Allah, oh Allah, make this city, okay, make this city a city of peaceful. So make this a peaceful city. Same ayah, this is in Surah Baqarah, okay. Same ayah, same Ibrahim alayhi salam. In Surah Ibrahim he said, make this a peaceful city, okay. So sorry, in Baqarah he said, make this a peaceful city, and in Surah Ibrahim he said, make this city peaceful. Okay, one time is Aminan, and one time there's Al there. This is a true example. I will bring it tomorrow, inshallah, next week. You will see the difference. So one time he said, make this a peaceful city, and another time he said, make this peaceful city. Make this city peaceful. Okay, so there's a two difference, because in Kaaba, in Surah Al-Baqarah, when he's building, there's nothing city there at all. There's no, it's a barren land. So he's asking Allah, make this a peaceful city, okay? Build a city and make this. But when he come later on in Surah Ibrahim, he came back to meet Ismail and Hajra. Okay, that time he see the city is there, city has been built. But Allah, he says, Allah, make this city peaceful now. Okay, so and just because of the Ismul Ishara, it changes the meaning. And in English it looks the same, but actually it is not the same. And this is why you know that when did he make this dua and when did he make this dua. So there's two differences, inshallah. So jazakallahu khairan, subhanakallah bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.